Well, good morning, everyone. I see you guys in the chat are here, ready, willing. Janet, I hope you find your TV remote. Poor thing. Nancy, you've got lunches back to back today with your grandchildren. That's wonderful. Yeah, Grandparents' Day is awesome. Candace, Diane, very good to see everybody. Hey, Lisa. Okay, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. I've got a little bit different setup here, but before we get started, we are doing borders and sashing today for the Seasonal Stitchy Stars table runner from the Fat Quarter Shop by Lori Holt. And this is a wonderful little table runner pattern. It looks like a bunch, but it's really only one, and they just have the different samples of the colorways that you can make it in, but all of the blocks are the same. How's my audio, you guys? Am I blowing out or anything? I can turn it down if it's too loud. You guys let me know. I've got a different audio on this morning than normal. So, and then on the back of the pattern, they have no free spirit, not late for class. You are not, so you didn't have to bring the donuts today. On the back of the pattern, they have got fabric suggestions for you, and you can either get a downloadable pattern and a kit from the Fat Quarter Shop, and all the links are below, or you can download the pattern yourself, and then you can source your own fabrics and kind of match these if that's, your stash can probably support that, I would imagine. So all around, well, for the last week and a half, we have been sewing these blocks right here. And these are the 7 blocks that make up the Seasonal Stitchy Stars. Sounds good, Deborah. Thank you. I appreciate that. So these are the 7 blocks that make up the Stitchy Stars, and I got to show you, I'm just so pleased with how they've come out. They look beautiful, and now we get to my least favorite part is sashing and borders. Sounds good from Indiana. Okay, well, good. If you're late to class, Sue, you have to bring donuts. Oh, good. Oh, you don't know how to act? Well, Amy, you're bouncing out of bed. Yay. So I had to change up my project board, you guys, because we've got great big pieces of stuff to sew. So let me show you what we have here. I'm going to put this to the side for just a second. All righty. So this is another Steady Betty, you guys, but today it's my project board. So we've got A's through H on the board, and the little letters are alphabetties from the Fat Quarter Shop, and they are not sliding off because I hot glued a piece of fusible fleece to the back of them. So they're holding tight, and on the Steady Betty, they hold tight too. That's the cool thing about one of these Steady Betty boards. They don't let anything shift around, and I really like that. So today we're going to be just doing some just straight stitching. We're not going to be doing any piecing as far as putting points together and stuff like that. So also the I, letter I in this, are there tutorials for each block, Lynn? Yes, absolutely. This is an entire series I've been doing for each block. So they're labeled in my lives. If you go to my channel on YouTube, there's across the top, there's like a menu, and there's videos and live. And if you click on the live one, you'll see the tutorials for every block. But it's not really a tutorial. It's just you and I sitting together sewing. But I do show you what I'm doing and how to do it. And there are nuggets of gold in there. So I think, at least I think. So this is the backing for this particular one. I love the way Lori Holt makes her backings. And this is so cool. So this is a nice, that'll be a real pretty backing on that. So I don't know about you guys, whenever it gets time to sew blocks together, it seems like no matter how hard I try, they get out of order. And that drives me crazy. So this morning, I am going to one at a time sew exactly like the picture shows because I want mine to be exactly like theirs because they've got, there's a method to the madness, y'all. They've got strong blocks anchoring the ends and then other blocks in the middle that are kind of, the pieces are not as bold or bright. And I want to make sure to do that. So, all right, you guys. Oh, this has been so much fun. And don't worry, when we get finished, there's more stitching to do, believe me. So what I've got going on today is I have the camera here at my sewing machine with me, and then we've got to be migrating over to the cutting board to do some cutting. So I've got another camera over there. I've got my audio mobile on me so I can get up and walk over there, and I'll have to switch my cameras around, okay? So when we first go over to the cutting table, it's going to be a little dark for a minute because, well, I'll have to walk. We'll work it out. You guys, I appreciate your patience, okay? I appreciate that. So, all right. Let me get a little sip of coffee here. Oh. I am sewing on the Brother PQ 1500. I'm using an Organ 7511 needle. It's actually for the embroidery machine. I just use it on my sewing machine. And I am stitching with Essential Pro poly white thread from Connecting Threads. I've got links to all of this stuff below. I get asked these questions, so I like to pop them in right in the beginning. All right, so everybody looks like they're doing good and getting ready to sew. Okay, so the very first block is, and I want to make sure I get the right one. They've got them named, and of course I don't have the tags on them to know what's what. So we're going to put together the Evening Star block, which is this one, and the 8-point star block, which is this second one here. So let me get my, let's see, we need to take A rectangles, letter A. So my pile with my letter A on it, rectangles. And here are my strips. We needed 8 of these strips. So we're just going to sew them together. So I had a bobbin change yesterday, so hopefully we're good to go on that. Oh man, fits like a glove. How nice is that? Oh my goodness. You guys look like you're having a good time over there. Now, this is going to want to fold. Let me see how I want to do this. All right. So when you sew on sashing, your natural inclination is to throw a sashing strip on it and stitch, right? No. You can see there's points you got to hit. See those points through the fabric? You got to hit the points. So you want to sew with the points up to you so you're not sewing blind. Does it make sense? Yeah. So that's what I like to do. And then I will take a single pin and just pin the ends together, anchor them together. And what that does is it makes sure that the bottom is not going to be pulled through faster than the top, because those feed dogs like to do that. At least mine do. All right, here we go. Let me make sure I get the point exact so I can, don't want to tip that. So it looks nice like that. You're not too far away. And you didn't tip them off. Okay, that's the goal. You guys have been keeping that gentleman up in Fort Worth busy with your purchases from his Etsy store for the clapper and the seam roll. Crazy. You guys been doing, that's so nice to support small business like that. But you know what? I think I need the big one on these blocks. Pardon my reach. I got to go right here. So he makes these big ones, okay? And I love the big one, but for a little piecing at my sewing station, I needed the little one, and he's selling the fire out of these. These are great because this is a clapper and the seam roll. But I told him, I said, can I have half? So that's what he did. He just cut his long ones in half. Let me put this somewhere out of the way down here. And the baby clappers are nice because they fit in the hoop of an embroidery hoop if you're doing that. Yeah, that's very pretty. See, that turned out really nice like that. Okay. You bought the big one, Grace? Yeah. Good. Okie doke. Next is this guy. I don't know that it matters which way, you know, one way or the other. I don't guess. Let me see the way they did it on the front. They've got the brown at the 11 o'clock position on the front of the pattern. Okay, I can do that. All right. See, I've got to match just what they do, or it'll come out looking funny. Mm-hmm. You weren't going to attempt this, but I've changed your mind, Gail. Good. No, I think, you know, I think these little sampler patterns are wonderful to improve your piecing. And, you know, if you've got the skills under your belt. Oh, let me show you guys something too. Sometimes when you're making these, because the pieces are cut on an angle, all right? See how I've got more fabric in the sashing piece than I do in the middle, okay? Use that sashing piece as your 1/4 inch guide. The ones in the middle are wonky because they're on the bias. You know, we sewed those flying geese. They're always wonky, you guys. So when you're sewing, you have a choice. You can either follow this edge with your foot or you can follow this edge with your foot. Well, I know for a fact that that edge is straight. So I'm going to hit the points on these, but when you're sewing and you have a choice of which one to follow the one that you know is straighter. I hope that makes sense. If you're brand new to quilting, that can be kind of, you'd be like, well, which piece of fabric, right? We're going to just trust, now I'm marking my landing spot strip so I can sew. Yeah. But I'm going to, at the beginning and at the end, definitely. Because if you try to force that one that is a little bit in, if you try to force that up to the top, you're going to get puckers. It will look just as good and nice and flat, even if the 1/4 inch seam on that top piece is a little shy. Not a problem. Fake it till you make it, y'all. That's how I do that. Okay. I wish I could I'm going to get in here. I want you guys to see, if possible, what I'm talking about. Let me zoom you in really, really close. I'm gonna turn this just a little bit. Can you see? Look how short this top piece of fabric is compared to the bottom one. So the bottom one's right here. Now I have to make sure that I'm going to hit that point right there. But if I was to tug this and get it up even with this piece, it would cause all kinds of wrinkles and one hot mess. So I'm going to keep my edge of my sashing on that 1/4 inch line. Aim for my little point. Okay, so look at the difference. See that? That's okay. Because when you open it up pretty, it's perfect. See that? So the sashing looks the same width as it should. I hit the points and I don't have any giant puckers, even though right here it's shy on that seam allowance. That's okay. Was that helpful? Do you guys do that too? You close your eyes and pray, Bernadette. Well, that's a strategy. Oh, you guys are funny. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's something I've learned over time. Just if you try to pull it and stretch it to make it work, you're going to have so many little puckers. You'll be like, why isn't my runner square or rectangular or whatever? Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. That turned out. That's good. Yeah. Okay, I need another strip on the 8-point star here. Sew it from the back. A little bit of swearing now and then. Yes, absolutely. Do what I tell you. Okay. All right. Yep. Night owl. Okay. All right, guys. We're moving right along here. This side's nice and straight. See that? No problem on that one. I've also been known to flip it over and sew it from the other side if it's got a bubble. Do whatever works. Keith was in the shop yesterday spinning seam rippers and magnets and all kinds of stuff. We leave on the 12th for Baton Rouge, and he wants to have some to take with him to the Bayou University in Baton Rouge. And then we leave on the 27th for Tempe, and he wants to have some then too. So when we travel, he likes to have them with us. Okay, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to probably work from the other end. What's the next block? This one, that's got the color up in the corners like that. You love your seam ripper. Oh, yeah, they are wonderful. Well, good morning, Life's So Busy. Glad to see you could make it. I made the cutest little apron yesterday, y'all. Did you guys see that video I put out yesterday? I'm printing templates for in Embrilliance Express. Well, that apron turned out adorable. I'll show it Sunday on the live. It's for that's for my buddy Dave Williams. He lives in Lafayette. And he had a crawfish boil for us last time we were there. And I wanted to make one. And I got a really cute one I'm going to make up today for his wife. And I'll shoot the video on how to embroider an apron today. The best aprons I think you can get for embroidering are at Sam's. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You have cinnamon rolls? Oh, man. Do you have like butter dripping in it? I can't remember the last time I had one of those. Oh my gosh. Are we bringing seam rippers on the sew and sale cruise? Yes, Catherine, we will. Yes. Yeah, we'll have them. Have your money ready. Cash, please. The internet there is terrible. All right. This is looking really nice, you guys. It's nice and straight and flat. Looks good. So there's 3. I'll do one more. And then I just don't like wrangling big old pieces of quilt, especially here. I'm real wedged in with the camera right here and the computer right here. And I can't hardly use my knee lift because my ironing station is in the way. I have a lot of problems in my life. I had to cut a strip of fabric yesterday to be 15 inches long. And I cut it the right width. And I was all happy. And I looked at the pattern, looked at the ruler, looked at the pattern, looked at the ruler, whacked it off at 14 and a half. I had a few choice words for myself then. What were you thinking? I know you guys do that too. Why aren't you cutting? You're being picky. Oh, these are looking good. Yep. Looking good. I guess this is my least favorite part just because I like playing with angles and putting pieces together like puzzles. That's what I like about quilting. All right. Yeah, that never happened. I know. Oh, you guys are so sweet. You don't have to get me anything for Christmas. You're a sweetheart. Never happens to you. Never. Nope. All right, what's next? Is I think this was called the cozy, is this one. Fortunately, I had enough fabric, so it wasn't too bad. I had a lot of fabric left over from this. I was real pleased with myself. One time, I made a block out of nothing but scraps from previous cuts. So I was feeling very, very froggy. I was all, look at me, cut all my stuff out of my scraps. Got another situation here where the block's a little short, but the sashing is correct. So we're going to go with the sashing. It'll all even out in the end, right? I'm trying to think how I want to quilt this. Looks good. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm sure if I've got enough fabric, I'm going to put it on the long arm and just panto it, because that's how I roll. I wish I could custom quilt like Miss Betty Boop over here, but I can't. You're using scraps too? Yeah, it is fun getting together. You're new to my channel, Evelyn? Started watching yesterday. Yes, we are all friends here. That's right. And it's really a neat thing. It's kind of an online quilt retreat. Okay. What is that? Is that a pucker? Better not be a pucker. I will have a set of choice words. I see. Nope, we're fine. It's a seam with an attitude. There. Oh, that looks much better. All righty. So there's the first 4. So I'm going to make the other 3 now. We've got 200 watching. Wow. You guys are awesome. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. If you're new here, we are doing the Sashing and Borders to Seasonal Stitchy Stars table runner. So, oh, yeah. You know what, Nancy? That's a wonderful idea. Juju's end-to-end autumn leaves and acorns. Yeah. Well, I could do that in the embroidery machine. I could throw it on the long arm. It depends on, well, I still have a quilt on the long arm, but that's a good one. I like the acorns one too. All right. Next is this block. Oh, there's Frito. Is she my Frito dog? I don't know what happened to her. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes. Give me a thumbs up, please. That's easy. Go think, just hit that. That tells YouTube to send it out to other people who like to watch quilting videos. Okay. Yep, this is the one we want. And is it in any particular? No, that's all the same no matter what way it turns. So I don't have a piece of sashing on this end. So I'm going to go ahead and add, oh, I dropped them. Oh, did you find your remote, Janet? Okay, so this is going to go here because I didn't sew. So I'm going to put a piece of sashing on both sides of this one. And we're going to sew it upside down so we're not sewing blind. Oh my goodness. So Keith got the dogs up and now they're getting their treats. He didn't bring them through the front door like he usually does, which I appreciate because they're noisy and rowdy. Now I didn't pin this and it's dancing around. See, that's what I get. Should know better. What happened, Chris? Oh, it's your anniversary. Congratulations. That's nice. Bally. Wow. That's cool. I'm a little far away on that point right there. A little far. So I'm going to fix that, starting in about the middle. and then gradually work my way back to the side. Yep, there, that's better. I hit it, see? Better to be far away than over the top of your point, because if you're over the top, you absolutely have to unpick it. Y'all, the first quilt I ever made, I had no concept of that, and 3/4 of the tips on that quilt, maybe 7/8 of the tips on that quilt, and it was a big star quilt. No clue what I was doing. Yeah, they're all tipped, but you know what? I've kept it because it was my first one. I was very ambitious, and it was my first one, and I wanted to keep it so I can see how far I've come. Where do the dogs sleep, Faith? We have my old sewing room, the enclosed back patio, and there are dog boxes. Their crates are out there. They sleep on the back patio. I've got more thread in here than I should. There we go. Yep. I'm a very, very light sleeper. So anything that scratches, jingles a collar, jumps on the bed, any of that, wake me right up, and I won't sleep at all. So they have to sleep in another room from me. And that's good because Harley snores like a train. I think that the Juki TL is very much, there's a Juki that is so identical to this, even the stickers on the front of the machine are the same. I'm fairly certain the same engineers worked on them. Pretty sure. They're just too much alike. Like yesterday, one of the ladies that comes in here, she emailed me about a long arm system she was interested in getting. It was on a Facebook marketplace, and it came with the robotics software. I wasn't a fan of the 5-foot frame that it was on. It was a little Dream 15, the Brother Dream. But the Brother, what was the name of the software? Well, I looked up the software and looked at the screen. It's identical to QCT, which is what I'm using on my Grace Canique. So, do I buy the kits from Fat Quarter Shop? I do get my kits from the Fat Quarter Shop, yes. Well, because being on YouTube, y'all, you want it to look right, you know? I want it to look like what they're doing. I need my marker. I've got little thread bundles that are not kind when it comes to figuring out where these points are. Okay. Oh boy. So, what was I telling y'all? I can't remember. You have quilts where there was a mistake. You didn't know it. Yeah, giggle spots. Oh, cute, Chris. That's a good way to think of it. Well, I like it. I'll have something on the design board, and y'all will put it on Facebook, or you email me and go, your block's backwards. I was doing a Christmas in the City. That was a big Irish chain quilt, and I had a block. I didn't see it. Drive me nuts. And I fixed it, but it was only because you guys saw it. That, oh, Look at this. Man. That was a Jolly Bar pattern book. I don't think that's right. I don't like it at all. I'm way, way, way off. Way off. I don't know what I was sewing. All right, let's try it again. It's another one of those on the flying geese, you guys, and it was just not the right thing. Your husband is soon to retire, looking forward to getting a dog. Joey, oh cute. Dogs are great. Love them. I've always had them because for many years of my adult life, I was single. And so dogs are a great alert system. I like that. It makes me feel better, sleep better at night. They've got their drawbacks, but we make sure that ours travel with us. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm still a stitch away over here. I'm afraid if I fix it, it's going to be very warped and I'll get a bubble. I can't stand it. Hold on. Those flying geese, y'all, they get a mind of their own. And it's all about making the change really nice and gradual. Hit the point and then gradually, don't do a sharp angle. That's better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. Yeah. But that's more than a 1/4 inch seam allowance, that's for sure. You won't notice it when it's all said and done. Won't notice it at all. Okay, and now the last one is the pattern came with the kit, so you have to buy it separate. You do have to buy it separate, yeah. You have to buy the pattern, and then you get the kit. If you get the downloadable pattern and you print it out, you can look at the fabric suggestions on the back of the pattern, and then you can match patterns fabric from your stash. So you could do it either way. So if you're overseas outside of the US and you want to just download it, that's a nice thing. Okay. Didn't that turn out so pretty, you guys? This is the one we did yesterday. Yep, just beautiful. That's my favorite block. That's the Missouri Star. That's what they use on their logo. It's my favorite block. Let's see here. Put the fabric on wrong. I don't want to do that. Wouldn't be the first time. Yeah. Yeah, mini schnauzers. Boy, the way they squeak when they bark. Oh my goodness. We've got a friend who's got schnauzers and that dog will not stop. Must have something wrong with it. I don't know. Oh, nonstop. But no, they don't shed. My son has a Labradoodle. He paid for that dog. We got ours from the local no-kill shelter. That's where Frito came from. She had heartworms, and we had to take her for her treatments and everything. She's purebred, Australian cattle dog. She came from a town called Freer, Texas, which is halfway between Laredo and Corpus Christi. I don't know what she was doing out that way. Boy, yesterday she took off after the UPS guy. Woo! Running after the truck. She's so sweet and so good, but She housebroke in 2.5 weeks. Oh my goodness. Is Frito hyper? No, not at all. She's very chill. Very, very chill. But she doesn't like the UPS truck, and she doesn't like trailers going by, like horse and cattle trailers. Not a fan. She's great, though. Wonderful dog. Max, that's a mouthful for a Chihuahua. Dog hair is your fashion accessory, Deb. That's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. I used to work with a lady. She'd come into the office, Air Force blue uniform, loaded down with dog fur. I'm like, really? Well, after I got dressed in the morning in my uniform, I wouldn't sit down until I got in the car. So getting dressed was the last thing, and then I don't let dogs in the front seat. So I didn't have dog fur in the car. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I heard this. Oh, that's a funny story. Chicken and duck. That's funny. Yeah. The cattle dog we had before Frito was very original name, Blue, because they look like blue heelers, but they're not. But anyway, she was a herding dog. She was trained as a herding dog, and that dog would come around and nip your ankles and try to move you along. Frito will. She goes behind you. Okay, guys, look. I don't know why, but my sashing is bigger than this. I'm glad the sashing is going on the bottom. The feed dogs will take care of that. Blue did not like people. Here's Frito right here. Come here. Come here, Frito. Come here. Come say good morning. Come here, baby. There she is. Hello, darling. She's a good girl. That's my cow dog. She's got the Bentley mark right on her head right there. Good girl. Yeah, she's my sewing buddy. Yeah, she's much smaller than my other one, too. The other one was built like Brutus, that cartoon dog. I can't see. Where's my point? Right there. Okay. Oh, that's horrible. What happened here? Look at that. See that? How far away that is? Look at that. That's terrible, you guys. You don't want that. What not to do? Cow dogs will heal in a minute. Yeah, they do. Usually when you turn your back and walk away. Yeah, Melody, she's always like right. Where was that problem? Right up there. Yeah. She's always right like behind, like right behind me, She will not go out a door before me. She won't. She's always right behind me. All right. I did not see the point. I didn't mark it. Bueno, much better. Yep. It's no problem if you don't get it right the first time, just so long as you know how to fix it. If you know what you're looking for, what looks right and what isn't. Oh, Harley, my goodness, I'm sorry, y'all. Keith gets her all wound up. She thinks it's time to eat, and it's not. They don't eat until 8. I keep dropping my sashing strips. You need to long arm now. You've been, okay. See you later, Anne. Thanks for joining us. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. I'm working on a video for that long arm binding ruler that I created and designed, and want to show how they work. So I finally got the Praises quilt finished on the long arm. Yeah, that works. I got like extra 1/4 inch on this strip for some reason. I don't know why. We'll make that work. Okay. Yeah, those are good. We have, oh, wait a minute. Was I supposed to sew that on? I don't see that. No, I wasn't supposed to sew that on. Well, okay. Whoops. I need to pay attention. Okay. So I've got these 2 other A strips, right? Oh, Jack got to work out with your dinosaurs. I'm sorry, Lynn. What pattern is that? That's the dinosaurs. Oh, Flo, you got to, poor thing. Well, they give us love, don't they? All right. So why do I have those extra 2A pieces? Or did I make more than I need? Oh, they do go on the end. But they go on the end after the E strips. All right. So now I need to sew these 3 pieces together with the 4 pieces that we did earlier. And it says this whole thing should measure 79 and a half. I don't know. Well, no, not yet. I don't think, should it? 72 and a half. It's Elizabeth Hartman. Oh, those dinosaurs. Okay, yeah. Lisa, Betty Boop on here. She's in the middle of Pandas in Sweaters from Elizabeth Hartman. She's got that going right now. Okay. Time to stand. Okay, I'll get right on that. And we put it all together. Ah, yeah, nice, nice, nice. My poor little clapper's getting buried over here under this pile of fabric. All right, you guys, we've got it all together. It looks great. Alrighty. So there's the center. How about that? You ordered the pattern yesterday after watching me. Oh, good, Jackie. You're going to like it. It's a lot of fun. That's nice. Morning, everyone. Hi, Teresa. Yes, Lynn, those dinosaur, I tell you, if you don't have a good sew and flip method under your belt, you cannot make an Elizabeth Hartman pattern. I made a Mountain Man, the one that's the Sasquatch. Yeah, definitely need that. Okay, so now we need to assemble 3 fabric C strips and 3 fabric F strips. All right, 3 C's. Let me grab those. One, 2, 3. All right, put these back and put the C back on it. Otherwise, I won't know what they are. And 3 fabric F strips. 1, 2, 3. So this pattern has a little dashed border around it. See the dashed border all around the stars? So that's what we're going to make. We're going to make the strip sets and then cut them. And we're going to feel very, very fancy doing that. So this fall one has the brown dashes. So a couple of things when you're sewing longer strips like this, okay? I recommend that you sew them from different directions each time, because if not, they will get a curve to them, especially if you're sewing jelly roll strips, because that's even longer. But I will sew from one end and then flip it around and sew to the other end. Otherwise, you do get kind of a curve. There's a and then the second thing is there's a technique that I learned from Janet Prey of Islander Sewing Systems. So I'm going to pin the bottom together so that it stays, right? It's not going to be pulled through faster than the strip on top. But to get really very even stitching, there's a technique to hold your fabric. And they do this in industry because they don't have time for pins. So this can make your life a little bit easier. Let me show you and get in on the hands here. Okay, so you get your edges straight, right? And it's called thumb under. It's under both. It's not in between. Thumb under, fingers on top, and then roll it like that. So thumb under, fingers on top, and roll. And you will get a very straight. You're also preventing the fabric from being pulled through underneath faster than the top. You get a very nice, even, no bubbles, no ripples strip. So I'm going to iron this. I'm just pressing to set the seam right now. Okay, so I sewed it this way this time. And it shows them being pressed to the dark. Is the way they're saying to do it. Okay. So now I'm going to sew it from the other end first. I don't know what the magic is about that, but it works. but it prevents you from having to pin everything, because you know how those strips can kind of wobble around with each other. Y'all, it's not like I made this up. I've picked up these tidbits over the years, and I'm just sharing them with you. This has gotten to be a habit of how I sew all the time. Thumb under, finger on top. Oh. This reminds me of those shows on PBS. We used to watch the sewing shows, and everybody be real quiet, just watching people do sewing stuff. Oh, you slept in, Norma. Good for you. This is turning out nice. Oh, I sewed that one the wrong way. I ironed it the wrong way. Let me fix that. I ironed you the wrong way. That's the way that goes. There we go. So you guys get the idea. See how straight that is? It's not warping, because they will want to warp. I don't know what it is. They just do. All right, Lynn, you got a long arm class. Have fun. I've got private class today. I have 2 of them. Ladies getting the lessons on how to turn paper applique into embroidery designs using Stitch Artist 2. I think it's so cool that you guys stop in here while you're getting ready for work or getting ready for class. Y'all put me on in the car. Watch the road, not me. We're pressing to the dark. One morning, can I show how I cut the pieces from the kit? Oh yeah. The problem with cutting is that showing cutting is that that can give away the pattern, because you're showing measurements, and I have to be very careful about that. I can't give away the pattern, So that's the thing. Cutting is one of my favorite parts. I'm so OCD in some areas of my life that I really enjoy the cutting. That's one area I like. Okay. Yeah. Well, We're having a big party in here, Olivia. Glad you could make it. Does Embrilliance Express let you make the stitches for a stitch out? No, no, they don't. It's very limited. It doesn't even have the, when I was doing that demo on that video yesterday, I tried to send the design wirelessly over to the multi-needle, and it doesn't have that utility in Express. You don't see that. But it lets you print, and that's really important so that you can figure out where you're going to put your design. You know, a lot of times we make designs that if you get, like, you know, and in the hoop project, center's already been determined for you by the digitizer, and it just does what it does. But on the one I was doing yesterday with the doing an apron, I had to figure out placement myself. So that's when I'll print out a template and then use that crosshair to put the target sticker. Yeah, it's very handy to be able to do that. Print your design out, figure out where it's going to go. That's if you're ever doing the Designs by Juju end-to-end quilting, and you need a paper template, you can print that out to see where the design, where you want to start it or whatever, or you can stitch one out on some cutaway stabilizer. Either one, but yeah, it's very handy. Look how straight this is turning out, y'all. We're not warping at all, and it's because I'm starting from different ends. Okay. I learned that trick from Jenny Doan. I was watching one of her videos, and she said something about that. I think it's on the jelly roll race pattern she was making. And she said that, and I was like, now that makes sense, because I've had stuff curve, and you're like, what is going on? Okay, here's our 3 strip C's and 3 strip F's. They need to be pressed to the dark. What scan and cut do you need to buy? Tammy, so there, I have a blog post on my blog, powertoolswiththread.com, and it just in the search box, type in the word buy, B-U-Y, and that article will pop up, and I talk about what scan and cut should you buy. So it doesn't matter which one you buy, they all cut, they all scan, and they all cut the same, but the different models, you're going to have different abilities. So like on the 225 and up, you can scan and cut on a 24-inch mat. You can't do that on the 125 and below. So, yeah. Yes, printing a template definitely helps with all of that. Thank you, Candace. Yeah, you're getting a little private class, huh? Yep. Just for grins. So like I have the 325. The 325 and the 330D are identical machines. The D is Disney. So there's no difference in designs or anything other than the 330D has Disney. The 325 is the same. It just doesn't have Disney in it. I don't know why they just didn't do one with a D and one without, but Anyway, so I've got the 325, but they're all wireless, and you know, it's based on you know, your budget for sure. But I personally wouldn't do the SDX 85 only because it's got a little bitty dinky screen and you got to fiddle around with an app on your phone or whatever. Anyway, okay, so now we need to subcut each medium strip set into 13 6 by 1.5 inch rectangles. Okay. Okay. Make 26. What? Now is when I got to stare at the pattern, y'all. Yeah. Subcut each strip set into 13 rectangles. Okay. I don't know where it said make 26. How am I going to get 26 out of that? Oh, make 2. So here's 1. Okay. We're not going to get to doing that today, y'all. We're at an hour now. So I think I've had enough for one day. What am I making? Debbie, we are doing these sashing and borders today on Fat Quarter Shop Seasonal Stitchy Stars. So this is a table runner pattern. And today we sewed sashing in between all of the blocks for the table runner. Okay. And then we also got one of the units for the side borders done. So Margie bought the 225 1 week before the 330 came out on sale, of course. You know what? Yeah, the My Connection. Okay. You know, I don't use that My Connection a whole lot. I'm not entirely sure you're going to miss that too much, because I believe you can do the same thing with Artspira, that little app. Do I have a link for the clapper with the felt? Yes, Peggy, there is a link below the video for the clapper and the that little pressing bar. So I have the 225 down at the coast. I love it too. They work great. They both work great. The 225 is a fabulous machine. Yeah. So also, just FYI, Brother is not coming out with a new scan and cut next year. So what's on the market today is what's going to be there for the next year at least. Yeah. So yeah, I need to do some more scan and cut videos. I know a lot of you found me because of the scan and cut. So I'm just all over the map on what I sew, y'all. I just, whatever hits my fancy, right? So, all right, you guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and sew the other unit of this, and tomorrow morning we will cut. But I've got classes I have to get ready for later on. All right, you guys. So thank you for being with me. We'll talk to you soon. You guys go sew something. Bye.